Hey, hello everyone. Good evening or good afternoon, depending upon where are you located. This is French Wine Addict and another on another live stream. Nothing really planned, not as usual. Didn't have like a list of topics to be covered as I did in the with Jack or with David or with the other Jack or with Brian. If you watch my stream, you know how important is to me to bring people together from different backgrounds, from different territory, horizons, I would say. So nothing really planned. I will put a link in a couple of minutes in the chat, so you will be able to join my panel if you want to. It's all about community live stream, and yeah, I was asking earlier this week what is the best time to do the stream, and I think a lot of people are European-based people. I think they vote for it for this slot, which totally makes sense. It's now 3 p.m. Eastern, where I'm located, 9 p.m. in France, maybe 8 p.m. in the UK. So yeah, and anyway, yesterday Alex hosted Alex Peter Vinyl hosted his live stream, so I didn't want to stream at the same time. So I decided to do the stream right now. It's a little bit. I know it might be a little bit early for us, the Canadians or the Americans, since like it's like middle of the afternoon on the East Coast, midday on the Pacific side. But yeah, so I hope you will enjoy. You will maybe join my panel. I'm really glad I received. If you watch my videos, yesterday I posted the review of the very first VCLT I received from a friend of mine, good friend of mine, Fred, Big Star 1000. He was very kindly enough to send me a very cool package with a bunch of great records, obscure French prog. Some of them I was on lookout. I've been on lookout for years. Other crowd rock and stuff. So hey Mick, nice to see you. So yeah, I will be putting the link in the description, in the chat, so you will be maybe able to. I will do it right now, so you will be able to join the panel and to share. Bring some records. We will be discussing about. It's like an open mic sessions, if you want to phone in program. I don't know how to say correctly. Hallo Thorsten, hallo, alles klar. Thorsten, a fellow member from the German vinyl community. As you know, I speak German, so I have some great connection with the German vinyl community, with Timo, for instance, Vinyl und, a great channel with Luca, Planet of Platte, Basement 45, Michael 45 RPM, all great guys. Nadine, she took part on the very first live stream I've ever done on my channel. Was glad to have Nadine, a great channel. She now has a channel. She does video in English and in German, so pretty cool. Soul Disco, that's the name of her channel. And yeah, so it's really nice, to be in contact with so many people. This summer was a perfect example how a great community of people is. Salut Joe, salut, a guy from Alsace. Yeah, it was perfect, really perfect. Tomorrow I will be, or not tomorrow, but maybe Monday, I will be meeting up with Dom, Seeking a Thread. Great guy as well. He's penning a couple of days vacation, I guess, in Montreal, all over from he's come from. Dom, really looking forward to meeting you. I had the pleasure to meet up with Brian and Brian Robot several times. Toronto. Ben Rankings was a great experience as well, and of course the MGK's Boston party, cake party. Are we able to say? Yeah, fantastic experience. 15 or more or less VCers, vinyl community members, all together with a talking about music, drinking some stuff. Yeah, you could hardly ask for more in that situation. So this is really what a community is all about. And Steve from All the Words Stage as well. He will be traveling in October in Montreal. So I will be glad to finally meet up personally in person with a meetup with Steve. So meet him in person. So yeah, very nice summer. I think people took advantage to travel, to take some trips. I don't know how it was like you. It's often a great opportunity to be exposed to something different. If you don't, I have the chance, I can travel for work, like like several times a year, so it's not a problem to me. But some people that don't often travel, so the only way they can spend their money on travel, it's summer, summer vacation. And it's yeah, it's sometimes it's the only time in the year, so you are outside your comfort zone or your territory. And maybe you can make some great discoveries if you are in in I know in Europe, when you go to southern part of Spain or Italy, if you are in like in the big city, doing some sort of city trips, you can have access to a lot of record stores. And Brian Robot is a perfect example. He took a very nice trip to Italy, so he could go to those stores. And yeah, so excellent in trance there. Oh yeah, okay. His mention is refers to the album in trance Behind Myself, which is a signed copy, by the way, from Uli. Uli wrote, yeah, he played in a small venue in Colmar, Le Griffon, not Le Griffon. Anyway, yeah, in a very small venue in Colmar in 2019, and I had a chance. He was very, very kind after the concert, after the gig. He signed all my records I brought. So I had the CD cover of Fly to the Rainbow, and in trance the back cover, and he signed to me this copy. So exemple dédicacé, yeah. So yeah, it's as I said, summertime is often Le Grillen. Exactly. Thank you. Exactly, Le Grillen. Yeah, that's a small venue in Colmar. If you have a chance to travel to southern part of Alsace, Colmar is a lovely city, as the people from the UK will probably say. And so yeah, they have some place they do a craft beer stuff, and a small venue. So and it was in a very affordable. So it's, yeah, as I said, it's a relatively small, no seated places. So yeah, and great concert in 2019. So he played, yeah, most of the first Electric Suns album. Yeah, Vive le Grillen, exactly, Le Grillen. I don't know where this name comes from. To be honest, maybe the neighborhood, maybe the old, because in a lot of in Europe mainly, where they had these iconic companies, like in Mulhouse, for instance, the city where I come from, very famous for clothes, for fonderie, how they say that, like heavy industry. And they kept the name of the company that was very like famous. So they kept the name, they kept the building like intact. They just went through some renovations, and now it's like spaces for art, for culture, convention center, for record shop, for instance. So but I really don't know where this name comes from, Grillen. So yeah, um so yeah, as I said, summer, perfect time to sometimes to travel somewhere. And I wasn't on holiday for summer. I will try to make some vacations. Maybe we'll see last by the end of August. So yeah, okay. We have like 9 people over here. Does anyone to wants to join the panel? Very easy. You click on that link, on that StreamYard link. You need a cam, of course. You need to a camera mic on. I need to see your face, and yeah, when you click on that link, you are in like in a virtual studio. And when I will see you face at the bottom of my screen, I will invite you in, to chat with me. So if you want to talk about music, records, the latest acquisitions you made, anything related to yeah, to music, record, concert in general, don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed. Yeah, it's a phone in live stream. So completely, yeah, not completely free, of course. We have to focus on the topic, what's matter to us. But so yeah, yeah. Mick is a very cool guy. I often see participating in some streams from, for instance, Stun Rock Confusions, and yeah, yeah, just some just to yeah, I think it's the right time. Stunny and myself, just if you speak French, or if you are interested in Stun Rock Confusions, is that's the his channel. And he's just like myself. He's a French guy, originally from France. He lives in Sweden, but doesn't really matter. He started his channel like many years ago, and he has a great stream on Friday. And yeah, we decided to join venture, as so to say. So we created yeah, we created a channel, another channel, but this one is host mainly live streams in French, and we try to do this like every Sunday. And I have to say it's a success. It's yeah, it's we are ramping up. Yeah, we don't have a lot of subs right now, but French community is I think is pretty active. So it's interesting to because on my channel it's only in English, so you can see sometimes people commenting in French. Those are my fellow countrymen or other people that can speak French, but it's mainly a channel international. I have a lot of connections with New Zealand, Australia, UK, Canada, US, and so on. But as a French guy originally, so we thought that might be at the right time to create this one. So I will just put a link, as I said, in the chat. So if you are interested if you speak French, maybe some of you are French. I see a lot of people from France originally in the chat, like Joe Metal, for instance. This is yeah, we it's and the concept is quite simple. Yeah, so we it's completely, hey, salut ENG, hi there. ENG, great guy. Yeah, he's one of the oldest VC, or not the oldest. His channel, one of the first channel ever created, a French vinyl community. Yeah, very nice guy. Content que tu sois là, merci. And yeah, as I said, so yeah, this good that you peep. That's the name of our channel, Stunty and myself. And yeah, the concept is quite simple. Yeah, we start to stream around yeah 1 p.m. That's the French time. So over here it's say 7 a.m. Eastern. And yeah, it's an open mic as well. So it's a community stream. We realized there were not so many of those platform or live streams in the French vinyl community. So we wanted to bring what we have experienced with our channel, so in France. So if you are like curious, if it piqued your curiosity, yeah, that's the thing. So yeah, ENG. Kiki, yeah, a new subs. Salut, hi. Very cool to connect with you. I participated last. Actually, it's the third live stream of the weekend for myself. Yeah, I just popped by yesterday's at Alex, and yeah, the first I started with another French guy, Didier Merlato. Yeah, we had like 2 hours discussions yesterday. earlier about progressive music, and this guy, I think, he knows about DDS channels, so I think he discovered my existence, and he just gave me a sub. So once again, thank you very much. Yeah, a lot of French people today. We won't switch to French because it's it's live stream in English. And hey, Mike, salut Mike. Hi, Mike, a great host. Um, yeah, we had so much fun at your party with all the people. It was a great weekend, so to say. And Boston is a great city, by the way. I realize I talked to my friends in France or over here in Quebec, and not a lot of people they know about Boston, so to say. A lot of people I know, they went to New York or Los Angeles or Florida. But when I say Boston, it's not like, hey, yeah, we know Boston, we've been there, and it's a pleasant experience. It's a really pleasant if you are from Europe and if you like to do the city trip type of things, a la European. It's you really, it's not a huge city. You can walk down the Italy, for instance, the old district, the harbor, and yeah, it's you can do. You don't have to take like so many buses or transportation to get through the other end of the city. Really pleasant. Really like the atmosphere of Boston. So yeah, we took advantage to with my wife, so to go there to visit a little bit the city of Boston. Um, Les Français débarquent. Yeah, French are arriving. Yeah, exactly. Sean. Hi, Sean. Vinyl Dreamscape, another great channel. So you won't be able to join my panel since you are driving. Okay, that's not a problem. I will just try to put a link if anyone wants to join. I think now we have like 13 people. 13 people are watching. 12 people. So yeah, don't hesitate to join my panel. I will just put a link. I'm just put a link. Very simple. So yeah. No, Boston is a very pleasant city. I really like the experience. Hey Ben, salut. Content que tu sois là. French guy. He's in vacation. Bayonne. Bayonne, a very nice city if you like the ham. Yeah, sorry for cliche. Very cool of you. Merci d'être là, Ben. So he won't be able to join because he's spending some. Yeah, he's on vacation, so no, it's nice. It's no problem. Merci pour ce que tu dis, and thanks for being such a loyal audience. Good question. He's asking. Does it seem that Boston is a more European city of the United States? Boston was founded in 16 something, so like it's a very old city, like Quebec City, for instance. So you can feel the connection, the architecture. When you're in Quebec City, for instance, you can feel how the French built the city based on what they knew. Like when you go in Normandy, for instance, you see really, okay, the buildings, it's not a copy paste, but you can see what I'm talking about. And in Boston, it's pretty much the same. I was able to I took several trips to the UK. Yeah, Kent, or no, not a Kent, Southampton, for instance, Portsmouth. And yeah, Boston is pretty much the same. So you feel the connections, the heritage from the Brits, from the British, and European. I'm not sure if it's the most European cities. Probably one of in New York. You have also a Little Italy, or a neighborhood where some high population from Greek are gathered. But certainly Boston is, yeah. Maybe Mike will will reply in, maybe have a better explanations. But it's yeah, it's pleasant, and it's only 5 hours drive from Montreal, so not that bad. And it's not like you have like you cross like lots of huge cities. So It's it's a pleasant trip, and it's on the yeah on the seafront. So no, it's was a good experience. So yeah, I just brought some records. I will the idea is to share with with you guys if you can, if you wants to, if you guys want to show your latest acquisitions. I didn't buy a lot of records lately. Yeah, to be won't give the reason here. But as I said earlier, I received a very cool package from a VCLT from Fred, and Fred will be maybe tuning. It's a little bit early in Australia right now, so it's like what? It's like 5 a.m. in the morning in Melbourne. So he will be joining us a little bit later. Yeah, he sent me a great package, and the one maybe a lot of obscure French band, but the one I'm really surprised because they were not that obscure. It's that one, and a lot of I know Mike commented on that one. Jack from the Vinyl Voyage, great channel name by the way. Vinyl Voyage, I never. And yeah, they it seems like they were like a little bit famous in the 60s. They this is a 68 album, and yeah, it's a good surprise. It's a good surprise. You when you read the in the back cover the story, two young people from California, from San Francisco, they travel all the way down to Nashville. Bradley's Barn is in Nashville. This is where this album has been recorded. And yeah, you got it. 68 Nashville, San Francisco. You have country mixed with psychedelic. It's a psychedelic pop combo, yeah, with country flair, so to say. So it's yeah, this is something. And I know you guys, some of the people, they were like mentioning other albums from them. I went on Wikipedia, so just to be fairly honest with you, and I noticed they had some mainstream success. I think 5 years earlier than that one. So I will definitely check it out. So let me know, what do you think? Let's talk about music. Yeah, sure. Yeah, we are here to talk about music. So I'm here to talk about music. I put links, so I'm expecting people to join me. This is a great question, Joe Metal. Which album can you advise me? Genesis album. Wow, great questions. Great questions. I'm a prog nerd. Classical prog, symphonic prog. Genesis is probably my favorite bands when it comes to the mainstream prog bands. Um, Peter Gabriel era. Uh, I will not say you have to go with this one, because you might be disappointed, and it's not the way to do. We often talk about that with Stunty. All this video, the 10 albums you must start with. If they are not right to you, you will say, oh, it's this genre is one. It's not to me. It's not for me. I will. The very first album I listened to, Genesis, Peter Gabriel era, that's selling England by the pound. Still one of my favorite to date. It's not a bad one to start with. Let's put it like this. Yeah, if you, yeah, I would say selling England by the pound. A lot of reasons. The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway is a great one. It's a double album, it's a concept album. He has, yeah, it's still it's still growing to me, so to say. Not the perfect one. Um, really love Foxtrot and Nursery Crime, but with selling England by the pound, which I don't have a copy of over here. It sounds a little bit more modern compared to Foxtrot and Nursery Crime. Firstly, because of the synthesizer, the Mike Tony Banks, he incorporated an ARP Pro Soloist synthesizer, so it sounds a bit more modern. You have less mellotron, less, the typical early 70s sounds, and it's a treat for the ears because the producer grasped the essence of Genesis. So they made a great job, so to say. So selling England by the pound. If you don't know much about progressive music, and I know you are not like a prog freak, this is the one you could, yeah, selling England by the pound, and yeah, the close to the edge from Yes, from the band Yes. Those are, I think they had some mainstream success, but back in the days with that one, and you can see all over the place. So if you really want to dive in this rabbit hole, yeah, selling England by the pound by Genesis, and from the band Yes. This is the band Yes. This is yeah, so close to the edge. Very iconic album. Yeah. You can find on YouTube or on Spotify, all over. Yeah, I really liked YouTube. I discovered the versions on YouTube. I don't like some of the remaster from 2007. For instance, Nursery Crime. The sound is very clean. Is maybe a little bit too clean to my ears. I give you an example. The song Seven Stones. That's the opening track on side B on Nursery Crime. It's a great it's a great one. That Mellotron kills me every time. And yeah, speaking about that Mellotron set, on the remaster versions 2007, I don't know what they've done. They tried to do some I don't know. It's a little bit too. You cannot hear as distinctive as on the vinyl. Yeah, I was lucky to find an OG press, UK press of that one, Charisma label, the Pink Scroll, the very first label. And when you listen to that one on the vinyl, on analog, the Mellotron is distinctive. It's wow, it catches you when with the 2007 versions. Yeah, it's a little bit like, in French we'll say étouffé. The sound is not as good. So but you just to try to find some versions if you've never heard of this band. And yeah, you can find pretty much everything on YouTube. But Genesis, huge career. um when you know about the Phil Collins, when they had this massive success with Abacab, for instance, in the 80s. It's obviously not the same Genesis as 10 years prior, with what I would say the classic lineup. Yeah, Peter Gabriel, Mike Rutherford, Tony Banks, Steve Hackett, and Phil Collins. But to my ears, I think there is nothing wrong with Nursery Crime, Foxtrot, and selling England by the pound. So Supper's Ready is my all-time favorite progressive song from Genesis. Covers almost the entire B-side of Foxtrot. Yeah, and I agree. A Trick of the Tail is a good one. Is a good one. They still have the Peter Gabriel influence. This is interesting. This is the one they made when Peter Gabriel left Genesis. Right after they finished touring the Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, and they were like seeking the first place to hire another singer. And the thing is, they knew about Phil Collins' ability to sing, but it's 1976 was not Phil Collins' 1985. And he was singing they say, okay, you will sing the quiet the quiet songs, and for the most epic tracks, we will try to find another singer, and they even asked Peter Gabriel to come back to sing. So, but didn't manage. So, and finally, he did a great job. And I'm a Peter Gabriel freak, no question about that. But I recognize the Trick of the Tail, Wine and Wuthering are good albums, really, really. So I would say up until Steve Hackett. When Steve Hackett is still in the band, it's still interesting. When he left Genesis, to my in my book, it's not my jam. I wouldn't say it's not my jam. It's okay. So I'm not really like. How can I say that? How can I put this correctly? Um, um, I would say neutral. Yeah. So Trick of the Tail. Yeah, sure. Yeah, the first Genesis to Revelation. This I have a copy of that one. It's interesting. Back in the days, now we have a completely other um, perspective of the Bee Gees, for instance. But back in the days, I read some articles. Even yes, the Bee Gees, they were like a standard. So to sing, they had the vocal capabilities, and yeah, you can feel on the very first Genesis. So that's it's not a compilation. It's the story. They were like students in that school, and one of the former student, he had a small major or hit on like a one hit wonder, and he helped the band Genesis. They were students at the time, so they could record a very first one, but it's way different from what they will do with Trespass. But it's not a bad one. It's not a bad album. It's psych pop, as you correctly say, Kiki. Um, and yeah, it's completely 1968. So 1968 was a little bit too early for prog. Progressive was on its way. You had some great albums in '68, like prog-esque or progish, proto-prog. I can think of SF Sorrow by the Pretty Things, for instance. One of the first concept album. Was it released in '68? But SF Sorrow it's a great example of how was the proto-prog before. And speaking of proto-prog, okay, I will show some records. Still waiting to be joined by somebody or someone. Don't leave me alone. So yeah, when I got interested in the genres prog rock, progressive music, I read this incredible book written by Émeric Leroy, Rock Progressif, as I often mention on my channel. And I got interested on the why and the wherefore of the genre. So I was like before prog, before King Crimson in the Crimson King release in 1969. What was the evolutions? Which albums did matter? Did pave the way or bring a brick to the wall of what I mean? And yeah, we often mention Procol Harum or the other one, the Moody Blues. And yeah, sure, Days of the Future Past with this orchestration, it definitely helped. But there are other bands. We don't give enough mention to. For instance, this band, Family, Music in a Doll's House. It's interesting. I have two albums of them. This is a family. This is their first one, Music in a Doll's House, and this is Family Entertainment. And firstly, Roger Chapman has this very distinctive voice. You have Oriental influences, violin. So Rick Gretsch and didn't have a lot of success. They were touring in the U.S., had some problems with the organizations or with the union. I think something went bad, so they Rick Gretsch left the band. He joined Blind Faith. The projects Eric Clapton, Ginger Baker, and Steve Winwood started after Cream. But this is really if you are curious about what is the proto-prog, how it started before King Crimson, these bands, so family music in adults house, and entertainment, and I even have got a third one, a song for me, yeah, by the band. This is by the band. Yeah, I totally agree. One of the first, yeah, yeah. Roger Chapman has, as I said, very gurgle, very distinctive voice. He has made a great career after in Germany. He went to Germany, and one of my favorite band of this era, without a doubt, this is a Fairport Convention. Yeah, and this is my rabbit hole. And Fairport Convention, very interesting. Those are young lads from the UK, for young British people. This is their very first album. They were discovered by Joe Boyd, and Joe Boyd, Joe Boyd, the American guy. He uh, he witnesses when Dylan electrified folk at the Newport festivals in '65. So he went to the UK. He managed the UFO Club, worked with Soft Machine and with Pink Floyd at their beginnings, and discovered that band Fairport Convention. So this is the first one with Judy Dybel on vocals, and they were like nicknamed the British Jefferson Airplane, because they were mainly covering songs by Emmett Rhodes, Bob Dylan, and Johnny Mitchell. And at the point, he said, "Hey, you have to assume you are guys from England. You have to do folk song you have to do some British folk." And they thought, no, it's not for us. It's old generation type of things. But he had to convince them, and the first step was to hire the very iconic singer Sandy Denny. And Sandy Denny, when she joined the band, Fairport dramatically changed the sound. They were still covering songs, Bob Dylan's type of things, but also playing original, because she had a no catalog. She wrote songs, Sandy Denny, and all this one. So this is the first one, what we did on our holidays, and followed by an half breaking a few months later. So they were like very, very busy, very, very busy. And my favorite one, Legion Leaf, what a great one. This one is a totally success. Dave Swarbrick played violin, so he joined the band. So this is truly British folk ensemble, with some medieval influences, I would say. So the song Matty Groves, it's really, really interesting. And there was massive source for inspirations for all these bands to follow. So to say. So this is Fairport Convention, and after that she made some solo albums. Sandy Denny, great voice. And connection with another band I recently discovered. Sandy Denny, she had made she had recorded an album with the Strobes, and the Strobes. So this one has been released years after. They recorded that one in '67, I think, and only been released in '73. So years after that, she joined Fairport Convention. But the Strobes are the next one I would like to mention. This is a folk band from the UK. David Cousins, Tony Hopper, very folky at the beginning on that one as well. Dragonfly, and they made an album with Rick Wakeman. So that's the third from the Witchwood. It's a little bit prog, and yeah, after that went from progressive, more or less kind of music with Oriental influences, Indian as well, to some traditional folk. So this is the Strobes. This is the four I got, bursting at the seams, and the grave new word. If you are asking about, if you are asking what I think. Yep, I fully agree. So yeah, a lot of different bands from the late 60s. And if you only focus on what UK produced, yeah. So I'm still trying to discover. I always often mention in new old bands. So those are not new bands. Those are old, yeah, pretty much not obscure, but they didn't have a lot of they didn't have the same success or the same maybe exposure as the mainstream. Because yeah, in Moody Blues, it's Moody Blues or Procol Harum. And by the way, Procol Harum made some serious cool ones in the 70s. They Whiter Shade of Pale is of course the most famous song. But if you listen to a Salty Dog, for instance, or a Grand Hotel, uh, still worth a visit. Yeah. Okay. Does anyone want to join? And just put a link in the chat. So anyone who wants to join to share his latest finds. Uh, it's a great day today. Summer day, and not too warm here in Montreal. So yeah, it's a late summer. I say late summer. Hey, hi, Big Star. Hi. So yeah, I started about 43 minutes. Still alone, as you as you see. But you know, we lot of people maybe they will be coming later. So they don't hesitate to join me, mon cher ami. Big Star, yeah, great, great package, great one. I won't show the records because you have to check out my videos. And yeah, it's interesting. Big Star, he's originally we are from the same neck of the woods, so to say. And yeah, it's funny. It's funny to discover that some local bands. I say local for us because you know. In Paris or probably Lyon. They were like it was like a hub, but it's funny to discover like 40 years later. Hey, these bands were formed like 40 miles away from where I come from. It's still crazy, and yeah, from. But yeah, progressive rock is an interesting topic. If you watch my channel, I often mention prog rock. I can discover it's like every day I can discover new bands, and they were not only UK. I often mentioned about Italy, for instance. We discussed about Italy yesterday with Alex Beer and Vinyl on his stream, and yeah, Italy was the second country of the prog. They had this tradition of operetta, singing. Yeah, we often mention like bands like PFM, Leorme, for instance, but other countries as well. I recently discovered. I took a trip in Spain back in May, and hey, hello, Christopher, hop on. You can join. You have a channel you knows about. You like the type of stuff we discuss over here. Christopher, fellow member from the is from Sweden, I guess. Yeah, from Sweden. So yeah, Spain, and yeah, this band called Triana, one of the very first band to have like a prog album in his catalog. Spain is a little bit interesting as well. Yeah, in the 70s, finally the Franco dictatorship ended, so they were like running a little bit late compared to France, Italy. But finally, Triana is it's really, I don't have any copy of Triana. El Paseo, that's the first one I'm mentioning, and it's interesting as well because they kind of mixed flamenco and prog rock. So they call this rock andalou rock, and this is the very last band or the last stuff I discover during my trip. So it's a never ending story, as you say, as you see. Okay, I continue until someone join me. So yeah, this is the first one by PFM. So PFM stands for Premiata Forniera Marconi, Storia di un Minuto, real life. I think Didier Melato once made a video about his 10 Desert Island records, and he mentioned that one. So it piqued me my curiosity a couple of years ago, and a lot of people prefer Per un Amico, but yeah, this one is interesting. This one is another curiosity. It's an obscure band from Denmark, and Days of Phoenix, psychedelic. It's interesting. On this one. Hey, hi there.
So hello.
Thanks for joining.
I felt bad that you were on your own, so I thought I'd join you in.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah,
it's a bit early in the morning, but it's okay.
Oh yes, thanks for. Is it 6 a.m. something for you or?
Yeah, nearly 6. Yeah, on
Oh,
Sunday.
I'd say for you.
It's okay. It's Sunday, so I can, I'm not going to work today, so it's all right.
Yeah.
Just because I just thought there's no one else. Let's just come in, and maybe some other people come in. But I'm in my spare bedroom with the CDs behind me, so I have the records behind me, but I can pull out some CDs.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, I don't want to disturb my partner. Is in bed and is asleep. I don't want to make too much noise, so that's why I'm here. In the spare bedroom. Nice video that you made yesterday. I enjoyed that. That was good.
Nice present, Fred. Nice present.
It's okay. It's okay. It's a little something. That's what we do in the VC in the that's the spirit. You just send stuff because you just want to, and you don't need anything in return. It's vinyl karma. You send someone something to someone, and then you receive something from someone else. It I've been doing it for long enough that I know that that's how it works. But
Yeah, those obscure French bands. Did you find when you were, because you moved to Australia like 22 years ago, right? And is that something you were like able to catch when you were back, like once a year to see your family, or did you find those stuffs locally in Australia?
well, it's a mixture of things. The Atoll Pulsar. What did I send you? I can't remember now. The Jean-Claude Vincent.
Jean-Claude Vincent on crypto.
Yeah, yeah.
This one,
Well, that what. So
yeah,
start with this one. That one was because crypto is from Belfort, which is 10 k's away from where I come from. So
yeah,
there's a shop in Belfort, La Caverne au Disque, which is still open, and
okay,
they sold all the back catalog of crypto for really cheap. Like that, you could go there, and I even got some test pressings by Wapasu and other bands like that for nothing, €5, €10. That one was really cheap. I think it was kind of a blind buy at the time. Um, it looked cool. But it was on my shelf for a long, long time. I mean, I've had this for more than 10 years, I think. And yeah, and then I never played it. It was just there. And, when I thought about sending you a package, I thought, you love prog and you love, that's your kind of sound. And I think, instead of keeping all these records that I don't play, I'll just send you some and maybe you enjoy them more than I do because, you know, Um, I, I bought them at a time where I used to listen to more prog. The Atoll and Pulsar, they come from a store in Paris called Librairie Parallèle, which is in the middle of Paris near Les Halles. I used to go there a lot. It's it's a bookstore, it's a bookshop, and they had a big vinyl section for a while. It's right next to Rue de Rivoli.
yeah, Centuria, city
It's
set.
a well known store there, and I bought them probably around I want to say 2008 or something like that. So, when I was back, they were
Yeah,
just really cheap at the time as well. They nobody bought that stuff, and um, the Majoun is probably more recent because it's a souffle continu. I was always interested in Majoun. I wanted their records because it just sounded a bit different. But when I was playing the record, it just was doing nothing for me personally.
oh yeah,
But it's a good record. But it's not. It's just that after a point, when you've got thousands of records, some stuff you just leave it there, and it just does nothing. So I would prefer to give them to someone who will appreciate them. Um, the Rictus is from Luxeuil, which is where I come from as well.
yeah,
And I think it's a nice record. It's not brilliant or anything, but it's okay. When you go to Luxeuil-les-Bains, there's a shop there, and you could buy as well all their
yeah. I know that pace.
two or
Yeah,
three records that they've made. But yeah, it's sort of it's more fun than anything else. Collect that sort of stuff. And then I'll send you Mythos from the Krautrock.
yeah,
They're not really a Krautrock band. I mean, they're more a a psychedelic rock uh, band. Really, I mean, they're more proggy than Kraut. And Krautrock is a pretty overused term, I
term.
think. In
I agree. I agree. Yeah,
when you talk about uh, German psychedelic rock, I mean, Krautrock pertains to a certain amount of bands like Can and Noy and Faust and Cluster and Tangerine Dream and harmonia and bands and then I tend to put other things under the banner of crack rock when it's not really crack rock. Like Eloy is not really crack rock, it's just a prog band. I mean, I've studied crack rock for long enough that I know that it's a little bit, for me it's like Can Faust, Noi, Cluster. That to me is Tangerine Dream. Popol Vuh, that's proper crack rock. If you
Yeah,
know Popol Vuh.
yeah, I
And I mean, you can't even put Kraftwerk as crack rock. I don't think. I mean, it's again different. They're not doing. I mean, the early Kraftwerk, yes, but then not really. I mean, that's an opinion, but
I share this
um,
opinion. Yeah,
yeah,
there's this French guy. He recently made a video. He say, "Hey, krautrock. It's a bad term at the beginning, and there were Munich, Düsseldorf, Hamburg. So they are
yeah,
connections, but hey, we
yeah.
have somebody. Hi, Darrin.
Hello. I was just rebounding on a comment that Kiki 793 made,
Yeah,
talking about traveling with La Nuit Tombée. I talked to you about that record. Do you remember, Romu?
uh,
It's a record from Besançon.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's like a soft machine, but like it's a French
yeah.
type soft machine record. And actually, it's interesting because my aunt, who was a student at the time, she was friends with the guy from Ange, but she was friend with those guys too. She knew them, so it's a little bit of a hello, Darren. I don't think I've ever spoken to you, but hello anyway. I'm Fred.
Hi, how are you? Good to see you.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, I just wanted to jump in for a little bit. Ramold, so good to see you again. It's been a long, long while. I'm so excited. I just did a. I mean, some people have said, maybe I should do
A channel.
yeah, a channel of my own. But I guess I'm sort of stuck in this sort of old school of Facebook. So I just did a review of this group from I mentioned it in your chat. They're called Airbag,
Yeah,
and they're from Norway.
Norway. Yeah,
Yeah. Now I have never ever heard of them before, but honest to God, I've actually listened to it 4 times straight in a row. I just kept wanting to listen to it all over and over. So my local guy, my local, uh, uh, I call him sort of a music guru. He's really into prog rock, but he also gets into a little bit of jazz and stuff like that. But his heart is within the progressive sort of realm. And anyway, so he was just doing a video, um, just 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 on the just on the cuff, and just sort of said, look, I've got all this stuff coming in, because he had his local store and then he shut his store down. And then he said, look, I've got all this stuff coming in, and in the background he
is that
had
the one?
this,
Is that the one in Toronto? Close to rotate this because Brian from a Brian Robot, he went
yes,
several.
I know Brian, but I'm not too sure if it's the same. But I live in Hamilton. I don't mind telling people. That's not a problem. I live in Hamilton, just
Okay,
Hamilton, Ontario. Not just don't
not
hold that.
you're not in Toronto down. Okay, yeah.
Well, I'm a little bit. I'm probably about 45 minutes away from Toronto. So, yeah, just don't hold that against me. But anyway, my local guy, he's pretty much on the borderline. He resides in Dundas. He had a store called Records on Wheels, and
Okay.
he was like very well. He is. He's very much into progressive music. Anyway, he just sort of said, oh, this is he was promoting a lot of other stuff that he had
Yeah.
brought in.
Steve
But, you know,
Steve from All Over the Stage often mentions about the band Airbag.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh my god, like I'd never heard of, so they're pretty much like sort of a Steven Wilson, Porcupine Tree,
Yeah.
Pink Floyd, Radiohead, that kind of valor, if you will. And oh my god, I listened to this album. Well, I got it from him just the other day, and then I played it last night, and
The one with the
this
X on
morning.
the cover, the one with the big X on the cover, right? Is that the one?
It's the
It's a black
was it-
cover with the cross. Yeah, with the
Yes,
X, with the
that's
cross with the
that's
X.
the one. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Century of Itself. That's what it's
Yeah.
called.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's such a great album. It really, really is. So, anyway, I just want to say hello and jump on here and just promote that album as far as progressive music goes, because that's really all I have new to sort of offer in the
So
progressive.
how can we
scheme.
find, is your channel called Darrin Crawford or
Yeah, but I don't really have. It's like it's kind of frustrating. Like I'm not. I'm not. I don't really have a channel per se. I have a channel, but it's not. Like I have a 20 Banks sort of interview and a couple of other things, but it's not. It's not really a bona fide channel like yourself or other people who
or
are really
Fred
into
or
vinyl.
Fred, who's been around for decades?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do you know
So,
about Fred's channel, Big Star 1000?
if the only thing I know about is is Fred from he's from Europe, is he not from?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm from France, like Romuald. We're from the same
Yes.
place, actually.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I plead ignorance. I'm sorry. So, but no, I'll latch on. I definitely will. So, yeah.
I've started making VC videos at the start when it was first called a V in 2012 or 13 or whatever, and I've just done it on and off, but I've made videos over the past 13 years, which is pretty weird, but
Nice.
I've moved with the times a bit, like I've started with a different crew, obviously, and a lot of those people don't make videos anymore because, well, life goes on, people have kids, so on and so forth. But I've kept with, I've to me, it's a way of connecting about records, more than anything else. And we connected with Romuald probably maybe a year ago or something.
Something, yeah.
Would you say?
Probably, yeah. 1 year, yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then we've been chatting, and we've been and we do a live every Sunday in French as well, which is really cool. We have this thing here, but like with French speakers. But yeah, no, it's but I sort of keep to myself in my own corner of the VC. I do my videos. I don't promote myself at all. Like I don't have any social media promotion or anything like that. I just make videos, and people
You're
who
like
know,
me.
people who know, they know, and people
Yeah.
who don't know, I've got almost 3,000 subs, which is not really like in terms of YouTube is a drop in the ocean, really. But for 12 years, it's nothing, But they're very
Yeah, but the
very
content,
loyal, very loyal subscribers. It's very good.
But the content and the passion is here. Believe me, it's
It's
not about, hey, new video, hi,
Yeah. No, it's not like that. Yeah, it's very sort of like,
Well,
basic.
that's why I jumped on, because it was like, like, oh my god, like I haven't seen you in so long, like remote, because like I sort of see you sort of sporadically, like on other chats, and because of a lot of times I'm not in part to a lot of the vinyl community much anymore, but you're one of my favorites, obviously, because I'm
Oh, thank
biased
you.
because of
Yeah.
progressive music. So that's really, really great.
Yeah, but I'm not an
Um,
expert, and there are a lot of channel they speak better than I do. Believe me.
yeah. So it's a pleasure. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave you, but I just want to I really wanted to jump on and talk about
Yeah.
Airbag
Thank you.
because
That's
I
yeah.
got so excited about it last night
Mm.
and this morning after listening to it. It was just like, oh my god, you got to check it out. And also too, do you know do both of you do you know of the album by Nectar called Recycled?
I used to own a couple of neckties, but I remember it. Yeah, but I haven't had it for a long time. Well, I I partied with it. It went to
Yeah.
another home because I wasn't listening, but I'm familiar with it. Yeah, those 2 or 3 Nectar records were pretty good. I remember they were sort of like a symphonic prog, very
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah.
big music. Yeah, am I right?
Yeah. You are right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
I don't
think
have it.
so. I've never heard
Yeah.
it, and then apparently
Mm.
this is a reissue from again my local guy who's promoting that. So I was like, well, maybe I should check that out. But I just want to ask you guys like if you knew of it, but that's
A
okay.
German band, but I think maybe could have had a couple of
Yeah.
wasn't a
Formed in
mix,
Germany. Yeah. Yeah.
but English with English players,
It's
maybe
like it's
some
like
English.
it's like Gong. It's like Gong, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
I love Gong. Oh my god, they're great.
yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody was mentioning somewhere in your yesterday in the video you made, Romu, about the VCLT that I sent you. Somebody in the comment talked about Dashiell Edayat,
Yep. That's
um,
Kiki. I think. Yeah.
which is it's I think it's a record you'd really like. I mean, Darren, are you familiar with Dashiell Edayat? Do you know?
No, I don't. No,
Okay,
sorry.
I'll pull it out. Just give you a second. I'll go to my CD because I've got that on CD. It's my CD rack. Sorry, I'm just
Yes, anything new, please bring it to my attention because I just
yeah, Nectar.
That
I
that that,
cry
that
for it. I salivate for new music. It's great.
that's the
Oh,
one. That's the one you see pretty much everywhere. Ah.
Here. So this record here, I don't have
Yeah.
it on vinyl, but I've got it on CD. It's called Obsolete. There you go.
Mhm.
And the artist is called Dashiell Edayat. And
Oh, nice.
it's basically 3 songs. It's basically Gong. It's Gong. It's David Allen.
Hmm.
Um, you've got David Allen. You've got Didier Malherbe. You've got Pip Pile. You've got Gilly Smith. It's Gong. And Sam Wyatt, who is Robert Wyatt's son. And they play. This is a really tripped out French psychedelic record.
Hmm.
He kind of like screamed like it's if you love Gong, this is even in some ways better than Gong. Dash it absolute very cult French album. I've got my coffee coming up. I'm gonna grab it because it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I need coffee.
Yeah.
I need coffee. I need coffee. I'm walking you through my place, but the coffee has come up. Fantastic.
And it's for those.
Um,
Yeah.
it's live action VC. Like it's
Yeah.
real
It's
stuff.
live. Yeah.
It's real live action VC. The kitchen. No.
This is
Yeah,
real action. This is great.
real action. Yeah, I'm just holding a laptop whilst I'm making coffee and showing some Gong records. No, but that record, Dashiell Edayat, is a kind of a underground classic in France. It's he only made the one record, I think, and then he became a writer. He just wrote books, but I think it's well worth, if you like Gong, well worth tracking down and listening to. And
Definitely.
he's completely off center. Like it's the way he sings, and he's got this song about being in a Chrysler, and making love to his girl in the Chrysler, and it's just it's just off kilter
Hmm.
music. Yeah, beautiful. I've got other prog records there. No, what have I got? here, something that you both like. It's just CDs, but it's a
No,
classic live album. The only time that he performed Rock Bottom live, I think, at the Road Theatre in Drury Lane, Robert White and Friends. That's a really great live. It's the whole of basically Rock Bottom, plus other songs. I'm a Believer.
I swear, you Europeans, you always like have like the greatest taste in music. It just always happens. Like I'm here in Canada, but I mean, like I like to think that, I have an eclectic taste, but when I hear Europeans like yourself, well, obviously you're from France, but it really really it draws me. Like it really really makes me
Well,
happy because it's like, there's so many things that I've never heard of before. So, and that's the thing. It's like I said, like even just with this Airbag album, it's like, I'd never heard of them before. But it's like, well, it's really really nice to just hear someone's eclectic taste and stuff like that. So it's really phenomenal. Great.
This one I found in Toronto, by the way. This is another Robert Wyatt, and I found at Sonic
Oh,
Boom.
nice.
Yeah, yeah. Just to
Yeah.
mention, yeah.
Ruth is Strange and Richard is a very good album, actually. I think it's probably after Rock Bottom would be my second go-to Robert Wyatt record. They're of the same period. Very very good, very nice albums. Also, this one is, I mean, I like this one personally. It's a later one from it's from 97. Sorry, I've got some glare. I'll take the it's called Sleep, and it's sort of the 90s return to form of Robert Wyatt. It's a long album, but it's very beautiful. That and Comic Opera as well is very good, which I've got here. I'm in my CD section, which I'm never in when I do videos, so I'll make the most of it today. It's the vinyl community, but it's all on CD.
It's all about it's only the music, stupid. How somebody
yeah.
would say.
No, but for me, I've got, like, if you look at my wall here of CDs, I've got like thousands of CDs right in front of me, so might as well show them sometimes. Oh, we talk about prog here.
Yes,
He's a great French prog band. Well, it's kind of more jazz prog than. Sorry, I'm just to tilt this so that the light is not in my fucking face. Zo.
Oh oui, oui. Celui-là, je le cherche. This one I'm after.
So they were like the French Blood, Sweat and Tears, more or less, or the French Chicago, if you want to give them a sort of
jazz mixed with rocks,
jazz rock. They made also a really amazing record with this French singer-songwriter called Léo Ferré. They made this album called La Solitude, which I have on vinyl, which is even better than this in my opinion. But this is really great sort of horn rock, basically, with and I think I love the first Blood, Sweat and Tears record. Child is the father to the man, but I think this is I don't know. It's hard to say if it's better, but it's very very good. What else have I got? What other prog have I got in front of me? I have lots of psych and.
This is a very very bad episode because episodes like this makes me spend more money.
Yeah, he's a psych band from the 60s, the West Coast pop art experimental band.
Oh,
I think they were from California, well, West Coast, and they made this one amazing cult record, really trippy. What's the song on it? Shifting Sand. Yeah, there's a cover of a Frank Zappa, "Help I'm a Rock," which is found on this record here. Where's my Zappa stuff? Here, "Help I'm a Rock" is on this. He's on. Yeah, it's a song from this album, which is to be found on this album.
Are you acquainted with Saint Germain?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
see, it's funny when you say, of course, like when I speak to people from Europe, well, anybody from Europe, it just seems so like nonchalant, like like when they recognize it. But here, like I don't know,
I'll pull out some
here in
Saint
Canada,
Germain.
I can't really speak for the U.S., but here in Canada, it's like it seems to be like some sort of like obscure thing, but yet they were so popular in Europe, and yet the funny thing is, I have a really cool reissue of Tourist, and and that album just resonates with me so much. It has these kind of jazz elements and samples and stuff like that, but it's not but it does, but it also has like a lot of progressive elements to it as well. And the funny thing is, like, it really bugs me. That's why I'm seeing like your collection right now, or what you're presenting, and it's like, it's so frustrating, because like I really do need to get, like, explore, like I post a lot of classic rock albums, if you will, and some progressive albums. But for me, like, it's great to latch on to channels like this, because then I get exposed to like
I'm
new
listening. I'm
new
looking.
stuff.
I'm looking for my Saint Germain albums. They're there. I'm listening.
And it was pretty mainstream back in the days. I remember I was a small kid, and the commercials when you were like watching soccer's, and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
were promoting this album. I don't know if you remember. Probably you already moved to Australia, Fred. But
What
on TF1 they had some commercials
for
of
what?
this Saint Germain tourist.
Ah, Saint Germain. Yeah, it's
Uh,
very. It's this kind of like slightly acid jazz type of sound. With they released it on Blue Note of all things. This album, The
Yeah.
Tourist, is on Blue Note. Yeah.
The
Um,
reissue. I really should go and pull it. But the one that I had, there was one that I think that, well, they had an original, then they reissued it again. This, I'm talking about the Tourist album. They reissued it again after the OG, but the most recent one that they reissued is like the top notch one. It's like whatever, 2 LP, but oh my god, it's so quiet, and it's so good. Like, it really is. Like, I'm salivating, like the Airbag thing. It's like, yeah, the Saint Germain thing, Tourist album is just so great. It really is.
I,
But anyway, listen, guys. I didn't want to keep you. I just want to jump on and say hello, Ramold. It's
yeah,
so
thanks
great
for
to see you again, and thank you for having me on. I just wanted to jump on and say hello, and and again, I'm a huge fan of your channel. So this is great,
thank you.
great to meet you. So
Nice
take
to
Yeah,
care.
meet you,
take
Darrin.
care,
It's a
Darren.
shame that you can't stay any longer because the conversation is lovely. You know, just a bit of improvised kind of.
Well, I'll try and keep going in the chat room. I just have I have to tend to somebody in my apartment building. But anyway, we'll
Bye,
talk to you
Darren.
soon. Okay.
Take care.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Yeah.
Look, we're
That's
that's
come on, Stan. It's like it's a Stunty thing. The introduction project. It's gonna be Stunty.
yeah.
But I was gonna say
Yes,
I
sir.
couldn't find I have the only I think I've got the Saint Germain somewhere, but it doesn't matter. It's not that. But I thought whilst I'm here and we talk about prog and we talk about different prog, I thought because that's your thing. We talked about this with Stunty, I think, a couple of times. Benoit Widman, stress. I'm just going to try. I'm sorry. I'm in a room with really bad lighting. It's just horrible.
It's okay.
The lighting is horrible, but you remember it's only 6:20 in the morning, so there's not much light. You can see how many records I've ordered in my time there.
Yeah, all over the place.
It's like they're like cardboard boxes, like empty, empty. Stressed. So this guy is a keys player in Magma. Look, he's even wearing the t-shirt, the shirt. And that's a really great prog record, but it's kind of like more jazzy prog. Yeah, it's an amazing record, this one. And then whilst I'm here, I also took out this one. That's also a Magma side project. And it's Vaidorj. Do you know Romuald Vaidorj?
I've read an article about all the side project. Never heard of. Yeah.
Yeah,
heard of
Vaidorj. It is Bernard. Yeah, it's Magma again. It's
yeah,
Bernard
Paganotti.
Paganotti,
Yeah.
Patrick Gauthier, Michel Ettori. They're
Yeah.
all in, and Jean-Philippe Good. Oh, I've got the album by Jean-Philippe Good here as well too, which is really good. It's oh, excuse the pun. It's good. The Jean-Philippe Good. And then I pulled out this, which is also, I think, is also ex Magma from memory. I don't know. I haven't played those records for ages, but I, and it's Folklore, which is what have we got? Yeah, look. Patrick Gauthier, Didier Lockwood. Do you know Didier Lockwood? Have you heard some of his records? He's a violin.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. And Patrick Gauthier, very, it's very much. So these are records that I've had for years and years, but I don't really play them that often. But and then I pulled also, whilst I was here, a couple of, like, we're talking about Robert Wyatt, but this record is fucking amazing. This record is superb, actually.
Oh, the name does ring a bell.
The Keith Tippett Group.
Yeah.
So Keith Tippett is one of the key figures on the UK jazz scene. He's a pianist. He was married to Julie Driscoll. She became Julie Tippett, and she had a band called the Brian Auger, and she was in the Brian Auger and Trinity, and then she made these really amazing jazz rock records in the 70s, 1969, and the other really amazing. She made the basically the female rock bottom, and the name of the album escapes me right now, but somebody in the comment can help us. That she was married to this guy, and he made this amazing. That's a Canterbury rock record, but it's more like a jazz record than anything else. You've got the lineup there. Robert Wyatt, Elton Dean, who was in Soft Machine. You've got Keith Tippett on piano. You've got so that's Nick Evans on trombone. So that was like it's like a jazzier Soft Machine kind of record, but it's also more free, more jazzy. And the other one that I pulled out there is a real obscurity. The Viola Criolla, American jazz fusion bands. Yeah. Stunty.
Do you have your YouTube tab on?
Do you have your YouTube tab on?
Oh dear.
Wait, my connection.
I will mute. No, it's fine. I think it's fine. No,
I think it's fine. No.
Stephen Hawking is talking.
Oh, c'était pas gentil.
It was like,
yeah.
Okay.
Stunt, are you going? Is he frozen?
No. Stunty?
Is he having a stroke? We don't know.
Ça va venir.
Yeah, what Stunty finds a thing. This is American jazz fusion band. Very very cool band.
Ça y est, je te vois,
Never
Fred.
sort of, you know,
Ah.
not very much
Romuald, yes,
talked
I
about.
see you now, I think.
You're on, Stunty.
You're on, Stunty.
Yes. It's just lagging extremely.
Do you have your YouTube tab on?
Let me
or-
try to. This is horrible. Let me try to come back.
Okay.
Do try. Yeah. Yeah. So I've got quite a few little proggy things here and there. I was talking about Jean-Philippe Good, I think, a second ago. I think I've got his record somewhere here, but I don't know where because it's not filed in the right place, probably. But it's a good record too. I don't know where I filed this fucker. Nobody knows. Really?
Stunty? Ah.
Ça y est. Oh, you put me back on, okay. No,
Yeah,
I
but
think it's
yeah,
good.
but whenever Fred or myself are talking,
Yeah, an echo.
Yeah.
There's an echo or something?
Wait.
Yeah. Time we talk.
Okay, let me try something.
You fucked it up.
Now it should be good.
You fucker.
I think.
Now? Oh yeah, now it's. I think it's good.
Oh,
At last, you fucker.
You fucker.
I'll try.
Isn't that strange that you got the three French dudes from the VC doing a live stream in English together? It's just most.
Yeah, and we have a lot of French people in the chat today. I have to say, we have Perplex from.
It's so bizarre. It's like
Yeah.
this kind of beef, but like the alternate, the parallel world
The
version.
parallel
of this
world of the this guy DP was.
It's so strange.
Yeah.
I don't know where I've put my Jean-Philippe Good record, but it doesn't matter. It's what happens when you got lots of records. You forget where you are.
Julie is from Montreal, just like myself. Hi Julie. Est-ce qu'on peut
Bonjour,
trouver
Julie.
Zo? Est-ce qu'on peut trouver Zo? Can we find Zoo and where dog in Montreal? It's a good question. I know Frisson Rock is a record store Avenue du Montréal, very close to Au-33 Tours, and they have a good selection of prog, obscure, psych records. So
I'm sure you could.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could
Yeah,
find it in
that's
Montreal.
probably the one place I would try. Yeah,
Yeah,
Frisson,
I think
Frisson Rock.
I'm sure it's not impossible to find there.
You
but,
see. Are you from Montreal? Prog, Ian? Looks like I finally have a community of Montrealers and Quebecers.
So here, I've talked
Yeah.
about this record before a couple of times. Patrick
Yeah.
Forgas. So this guy is a drummer, and that's a French Canterbury rock record. It's just like through and through. It's got this kind of like jazz rock, kind of twisted sound. It's a fun record. It's kind of funky in places. Like I would recommend this to. Like we're talking about Keith Tippett and Gong and all that stuff. It's good. It's good music. It's all really interesting. Like, I was like this beautiful stuff. But we could just keep talking about music. I've got lots of CDs in front of me, so it's easy to discuss a bit of music and show some music. But yeah. So I mean, I know you're a fan of prog, so I don't have millions of prog records, but I've got some.
Yeah, I know what your stance on one.
No. It's look, I'm going to tell you a label which I love one of my favorite labels in the world is Ireland.
Oh yeah.
Island Records. I don't know. It's just something about the roster of bands they had, and I mean, I still to this day love. So this is the ultimate compilation, the anthology, and I bought the CD. This is the CD version. It's a really great.
What
Like,
what are the bands listed or the
yeah,
just
well, you've got classics like Nick Drake and John Martin and people like Fotheringay and the Incredible String Band, King Crimson,
Renaissance probably.
McDonald and Giles, and then there's some lesser kind of like or there's White Noise as well, which is like a experimental electronic bands. But then you've got other things like Traffic and Spooky Tooth and things that I'm not as fond of as the rest. But overall, I think it's a great little comp. Like I used to play it quite a lot in my time, but that's very prog.
This one was also on the Island label. This is the first one of Renaissance, and the last track is almost ambient. I listened to that one the other day. Bullet. It's like free jazz elements and almost ambient. I don't know if Stunty, you probably know about this one. What do you think? What's your take? Okay, Stunty. Stunty.
He was so disgusted by Renaissance. He had to leave.
Yeah.
Okay, look, we'll talk about prog. I don't have much prog again, but here is an Aussie prog band that nobody talks about. This is Tamam Shad. Some people in the audience some people in the peanut gallery might know Tamam Shad. And Tamam Shad. They're from Sydney, and they sort of more delve towards the sort of a folky prog. But this record is kind of a mixture between. I haven't listened to it for a long time, but it's called Galutionites and the Real People. That's the name of the album. And that's the reissue that they put that a few years back. You can find these originals if you try, but they're just too expensive. So Tamam Shad. Any other Aussie prog here that I can show you whilst I'm here? Tamam Shad. Oh, here. Here. That's Aussie prog. Here. This is a comp. Golden Miles, Australian progressive rock, 69-74. So the bands that are there are just basically the cream of the crop of that sort of sound. So you've got Bakery, Carson, the Masters Apprentices, Tamam Shad, and Piranha, King Harvest, Spectrum, Madder Lake, all these kinds of bands.
I'm not familiar with any of these bands from Australia, but would you say is that like the Netherlands, like the bands from Netherlands that were influenced massively by the Canterbury scene? Italy was different.
No, but here it's not. They're more. It's more trad prog. It's probably more. It's probably closer to Genesis. The Genesis. A little bit of Canterbury, but it's more. Those bands are overall more symphonic, more in the sort of traditional mold of progressive rock. But with this kind of typical Australian sense of humor, which is different again from like because this is not England, like it's a very different place all in all, but with some similarities. But I think the twist on everything here is kind of it's got a sort of a slant that's very typically Australian. I think. Yeah, bands like Tully or Tamam Shad or those kinds of bands, they take a lot from the sort of Genesis, handbook, but they also have their own, they're influenced by the environment, the sun, because in England it's miserable and tragic. So whereas here it's like, you know, it's a much, the climate does a lot for the music, I think.
Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. It's an interesting. Yeah, Canada is is another example where the sense of you.
Well,
Yeah,
prog from Canada is interesting as well. I mean, well, for me again, I made this video recently on my French channel where I was talking about French Canadian prog.
oh
And
yeah, from Quebec. Yeah,
for me, I was, you know, I was always more interested in the sort of jazzy things like
yeah. Yves Laferrière.
Contraction,
Yves Laferrière.
Contraction, Yves Laferrière,
Ouais.
you know, and then even like psychedelic things like Michel Mador and things like that, which are just, they're really, really cool. Or that Manège record,
Les Porsches.
mais on peut pas rêver. No, what's the
Yeah, no, what you yeah.
what's the Manège record? Ni vent ni temps. No, what's it called? Doesn't matter. It's green. It's got a character there on the front cover. It's like a Frank Zappa record. It's a little bit sort of Gentle Giant-esque in parts, but it's more like a Zappa record for me. That's I'm more interested in that. But then you've got Beau Dommage, and you've got
That's pretty mainstream. Yeah.
yeah,
And
you've got the Cinq Saisons. What's that band called?
Harmonium.
Harmonium,
Serge Fury. Lilo.
Yeah.
Ouais.
Yeah, but I'm for me, to me, like the essence is more like Contraction. Toubabou. I fucking love that album by Toubabou. I think it's a masterpiece.
Contraction, La Bourse la Vie.
Attente by Toubabou. Yeah, that's the album that I. Ni vent ni nouvelle. Thank you, Prog Frogian. Thank you. Yeah, Ni vent ni nouvelle. That's the one. I love that album. It's a great record.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Yves Laferrière, he played in a band called Villemar Blues Band, and they were like a chapeau chinois. We are not allowed to say that any longer.
Yeah.
But many, yeah. And
it's really, yeah.
And Villemar is actually the neighborhood where I'm going tonight to have some party with friends. Villemar.
That's nice. It's nice.
Villemar is Verdun is the neighborhood, and Villemar is the portion of that district. And yeah,
you were talking about SF Sorrow before. You talk about SF Sorrow.
Pretty things. It is, yeah.
That's I've got this on vinyl too, but I've got the CD for some reason. Yeah, nice record. Barren Saturday. That's the one that I always came back to. Supposedly a rock opera story, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm sure.
It's
Here is a French prog jazz band that people in the audience might know. From France, never talked about. Very, very, very cool. Maybe even Stunty might.
Even Stunty might like.
Stunty will know Raman. Do you know Raman, Stunty? No.
Yes. It's a bit too fusion.
That's a Chris Cole type of record.
Way fusion for me.
Yeah. Chris Cole fucking loves this record. I think I bought this record because of Chris Cole, to be honest with you. But I just bought the CD. I don't, I mean, yeah, they're French. If you like, I think if you like things like what was I thinking of in my head then? Magma. It's very Magma style. It's in that kind of continuation of Magma. Yeah. How you going, Stunty? You fixed your problems?
I don't think so. I think I need to change my router. It's starting to be catastrophic. Now you're kind of frozen, both of you. I don't know if you can hear me.
It's fine.
It comes back and.
No, it's fine.
No, I came on just to say that, like, when you were showing that Stress album by Benoit
Benoit Widman,
Widerman. Yeah. I think maybe I missed it, but I think you didn't say one member of the of that record that actually makes it that good. It's so this was released on Ballon Noir, and the sound
Yeah.
engineer for a lot of Ballon Noir releases is Bruno Meni.
Yeah.
Bruno Meni, who does electronic music and who was the partner of Emmanuel Paronin and the producer
Yeah,
of
she's
Maison
on.
Rose.
She's on there too. She Emmanuel Barina, she's on vocals.
Mm.
Interesting. Yeah, Benoit Meni. Yeah. Oh, you're right. No, look. To be honest with you, I haven't played this record for ages, but I remember it to be very heavy on the keys. Very like lots of like really great parts of like electric piano and
It's
sort of
about
like
the drums too, because it's like extremely funky,
yeah,
but funky
funky. Yeah.
in a way that like you can't dance to it. It's
I'm gonna play it today as a result. I think yeah, and I was talking about Vidoge, which is also from Magma, which is good. I think I remember being good, but it's sometimes you don't play the records for so long you don't remember exactly what they sound like. I mean, it must happen to you too, Stunty. I'm sure that you've got records that you haven't played for that long that you don't, like you sort of
funny.
remember them, but when you got 15,000 records, I'm sure there's records you've totally forgotten about. It's got to be the same.
It's funny because I was sorting records for 4 hours today, moving because
My
I
favorite
was
hobby of mine,
yeah.
sorting records for 4 hours. I love that.
No,
Yeah,
but
tell me
I
more.
was, I was doing today. I was doing a deep dive in all the Hafler trio releases that I
Yeah,
don't have, and I saw, oh, there's this one. I think I have it, but I didn't put it in my Discogs list, so I had to go there to like. It took me like 4 hours to find it, but I found it,
yeah.
and
It's terrible. It's terrible when you've got a record that you've got, but you can't find it. You can't fucking find it. You're like, oh, where the fuck have I put this record? It's just so frustrating. It
yeah,
must be worse for you.
to be honest, I wasn't like looking for it for 4 hours. I was going there, and then I thought like, okay, it's not where I think it is. Then I'm gonna start sorting records, and it will appear eventually. And you see what I mean? It was not like I was like
Yeah,
just crazy digging for, because I needed to sort records anyways, like to bring some of the records back to the main house, and I was also sorting books. It started that way, but
but you
but
must have a lot. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not. You must have. You have a lot of books. You have a lot of records. So the whole thing would be. It would be an operation and a half, really. I imagine.
no, but it was fine because like uh, there was one record I saw that I forgot I had because it was a gift from someone, and I think I haven't really listened to it yet. I think I put it on quickly, but I couldn't remember what it was, and I kind of think, okay, this must be from Christoph, who sent that to me. But other than that, usually I'm pretty like I know what I have. But I was playing yeah, the second solo album by Kavus Torabi, the guy who's the leader of Gong these days, and he just released a solo album. And it was kind of like Britpopish and kind of, and then in the middle of it, like a really really cool like cyclic kind of a little bit shoegaze Britpop song. And yesterday I was listening to Blur for the first time in ages. I was listening
Which album did you?
to self-titled and
Okay, look, which
and
one?
for
Which one was it? Was it yeah, self-titled? There's a whole lot of there's albums by Blur we never talk about. Like that's a
yeah,
nice album.
these two exactly. And because I figured like my favorite song of Blur is SX Dogs, which is the last song on the self-titled.
That's a nice record. We never talk about. Yeah, SX Dogs is great. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, it's a beautiful song. Yeah,
The concluding track of the album. It's you wouldn't really expect that if you. I mean, I got this as a promo when it was released, as I was doing a radio show on WFM in France, and I remember choosing SX Dogs as the title to promote the album, and everyone at the station were like, "What? Are you sure?" Yeah. Everyone wanted to play song number 2 or Beetlebum, and like,
of course, because they're obvious. I mean,
yeah, but
how often did you hear fucking Beetlebum and song 2 being played everywhere all the time? I mean,
true. Yeah.
like I used to be in a band in England when I lived in England. I was in the band and we played song 2. Like I played it enough times that it was it just became that, and it's a nothing song too. Like it's just like
It's a song. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nothing song, really. I mean, you could tell that Graham Coxon just love Pavement. That's what you learn from that.
Yeah.
You fucking love Pavement. Like it was his thing.
It seems
and all this whole scene of like lo-fi, a little bit noisy. Yeah.
But you were saying about this. You found a track on the Gong dude.
Oh, yeah.
In the middle of the thing, and what happened? It was like a Blur song, yeah, or
it was kind of like a little bit like Blurish in a way, and then like the song went on forever and ever, and started to be very repetitive, very melodic at the same time, but still very repetitive. And I really enjoyed it, and I put the song back a couple of times, and yeah, I only listened to the first side. I'm looking forward now, listening to the second side. It was sent to me by someone who's in a band with him, and he told me like, it's probably not gonna be your thing, and which means that like I've had that record for like 3 weeks now, and I've only put it on today.
Yeah, but I'm not surprised this would happen to you, because I mean, when you've got that many records, and because you also get records in all the time, it can be a bit difficult to actually
keep up.
Keep up and with the volume of things. Sometimes I have trouble but I mean, maybe I'm in a different position because my time at home is limited. Like I don't have as much time at home to play records, but I feel that I just couldn't keep up. Like sometimes I have to stop buying records for a month so I can catch up with the things that I haven't listened to. Yeah.
I heard you say that in your video from yesterday or this morning, and I try to do that a couple of times a year. But this year, maybe I did that earlier in the year. I don't even remember. But
you've got a big stack of records coming from Australia that left the country.
Yeah,
I know my hands yesterday, so I think you'll have a little bit of listening there. I think.
Yeah, I got a shipping from Soundhome coming next week as well. Maybe yeah.
We have a lot of new people on the chat, a lot of people from Quebec, so I think French-speaking people. So I just highlighted the channel. We all the three we are involved in this Code du Pif. So this is a live stream, a weekly live stream every Sunday. The three of us.
I'm the George Martin of this Code du Pif. I'm the official fifth member, so unofficial third member of this.
Yeah. It's we are joint venturing, Stunty and myself. But
I'm just in the background. I always sort of seem to arrive somewhere.
But it's funny because like now we have this routine every Sunday. We speak together about records and whatnot, and we speak in French. The three of us who don't live in France. And now, like doing a stream together, speaking English, it's almost like weird.
It is, yeah.
No, I don't find it weird at all, because I think for me anyway, I've been living in an English speaking country for more than 20 years. I've had to learn to speak English with other native French speakers, because like I'm I've been a French teacher for all my life, my whole career, and some of my colleagues are from France, and we have to speak English with each other in the staff room, because you don't want to exclude other people around you. You don't want to just go, okay. So it's come to me that it's a normal thing. It's not strange for me. I think it's a completely normal thing to interact in English or in French with, because it's an accepted norm. I think for you too, maybe a bit different, because but for me, it feels, I could speak in French or in English. It doesn't bother me. It's the same. But yeah, no, it's cool. No, I love it. I love. We were talking about prog with Romu, and I thought, I've got my CDs here, and like a very soft machine, like from France. Stunty knows this for sure. Moving gelatin plates, very very much a soft machine type band. And then here's an Aussie prog band, Cavus Jut, from Sydney as well. Just a few things for Romu. They're not records that I play very often, but just yeah.
No, oh my God. Why do I think about that? You remember what jute means in France, huh?
Yeah. yeah, no. You're disgusting. I knew you would think about it. You this dirty fucking mind. Yeah, I know. And in the prog section, no, I'm just kidding. Not
Very
really.
good.
I haven't played this record for ages, but I've got CDs in front of me. That's a nice album. Stunty, you a fan?
No.
Peribu, you like? No, you don't.
It's all right. I'm not a fan, but
I like Peribu. They're a good band. For me, anyway.
they are, for sure.
Yeah.
It's like it was funny, the record with the cow face there, like the
Yeah.
Trout Mask replica, but with the cow.
Yeah, it is. It's like that, but it's it's sort of Canterbury-esque. There's a couple of little, beautiful sort of like. There's a couple of 1-minute songs on there which are just like, they just fit really well. I've made compilations where I included that. Like, I've made weird compilations where I included one of these tracks there in the middle, and it sounds like it sounds like it could come from a Fortet record almost, because it's kind of strange, or take a record because it's really strange and really bizarrely composed, But like sometimes you find these kinds of songs on albums which are cool, But yeah, what else have I got in front of me? I've got lots of new wave and new order. We're not going to show that. Everybody knows new order. Japan, nobody cares.
You have another obscure band from Belfort in vinyl. It's Württemberg, I think.
Yeah, no, they're from Montbéliard.
Montbéliard.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
yeah,
it's not the same.
No, hang on. Like,
I know,
don't
yeah,
insult us.
Montbéliard, Belfort, not the
Montbéliard
same.
Montbéliard is my town. Well, it's a town next to my town. So here's a band that Stunty loves. Good old Section 25. That's a great post-punk band from the Factory label. People, that's sort of kind of punk funk, but really, really, really competent punk funk. I think for me, I really like that. I really like this band. I think people in the chat would know. Here's another great punk band that I love too, the Swell Maps. This is a trip to Marineville. They were, yeah, they got this kind of like nihilistic kind of quality. The Swell Maps, they kind of very, the music is very, very dark, I think. Yeah, just a few things that I've got in front of me. Yeah, we were talking about this last week or the week before. The
Yeah.
splits, boobies. There you go. You're gonna get cancelled, Romu.
Ah,
Look
okay,
at
merci, Fred.
We talked about Jude before. Now we talk about boobs. There we go. That works really well. Yeah, Stunty, you got some records to pull out. Apart from me just showing some CDs. It's the
Things-
CD
Things,
It's the CD community now.
yeah, the city community is. I think Stunny's connection is doesn't help.
No,
It's not up to
But,
scratch today.
but yeah, no, but we can still talk. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm good to talk. Since I got up anyway, so I mean,
Yeah, so I brought up some different records, some different prog. So yeah, the Renaissance.
yeah, you were
As
showing that
already
before.
shown, yeah. This one, probably my favorite Caravan, no question.
Yeah, I've got. I mean, I've got both of them I've got both of them on vinyl, but this there in front of me, I've got this one.
Oh,
I think this one would be my. It's such a beautiful record. I mean, Stunty will probably shit on it, but
No,
probably hate Caravan. But this is a fabulous record. I just think that it's like, I wish I was stoned out of my mind. That song, it fucking gets me every time. It's just his voice is like what's this, Richard Evans,
Richard Sinclair.
Sinclair, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
So beautiful, like so. I love this record. This record is beautiful for me. Is just a special record. Yeah, but Stunty probably will say no. It's fucking shit. Now, do you like Caravan, Stunty? Do you like Caravan? Not really.
Not really. It's all right. It's like
Yeah.
it's the kind of prog that almost makes the cut, but there's bits and pieces in it. Like for me, it's a bit like a Gentle Giant. Like
I think they're much classier, much more refined than Gentle Giant. Personally, I think they're not so much like a prog band to me as they are more like a pop band. Caravan. I hear, like on that record, I hear more. It's more like a pop.
It's totally jazz with prog, with pop,
Yeah.
with pop, with
Yeah,
pop.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's for me, it's got this kind of poppy quality to it. That's why I love it. I mean,
This one, Renaissance with Annie Haslam.
Yeah. Yeah.
This one, Camel, Mirage.
Yeah, I love
Oh,
how
no, no.
they took the camel logo for the cigarettes and
Yeah.
made a record out of that. It's silly,
Yeah.
Like
Classic
have a
Soft
smoke.
Machine.
This is a good record. The Soft Machine 4. That's a really good record. And Robert Wyatt just basically does a little bit on this, but he doesn't feature very much on it. Yeah.
This one, I know what you guys think, so please don't share your opinion over here.
What was it? I don't see what it is.
It's The Voyage of the Acolyte by Steve Hackett. Yeah,
Yes, Steve Hackett's first solo album when he was
I
still.
I don't even know what that is, but like judging from the cover, and that's what we do here.
Yeah.
Dots.
This one, I got into that. Yeah, I recently I re-listened that one because Fred sent me some Majin records and just wanted to
It's
listen
a nice record, Valentine Suite. I've got to say,
Yeah.
it's a nice record. It's a jazz rock record from it's a British jazz rock record. It leans on the prog, but it's got some good moments on it. The horns are good. They were a good band. I mean, that first record is all right. I don't mind it. Yeah.
And this is the American Art Native, so almost the same. So more jazzy, less classical parts
Yeah.
on that one.
I think I've got that Colosseum here on
Colosseum.
CD somewhere.
1970, very early prog, and
Yeah.
yeah, this is it. Some Belgian prog, Machiavel,
Machiavelli.
Marquis, Roland de Greff, symphonic prog from Belgium. Yeah,
My God. Oh, I know that
Yeah.
cover. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, look, it's Romuald's stream. I'm
yeah.
happy.
So
if you
please
indulge a bit of,
try to be try to be nice with the host, please. Jester.
I'm happy to indulge him with some prog. It's all right.
Yeah.
Some of it is okay.
Okay.
I
No,
don't-
but my connection is so bad. I hear you like robots half of the time, so I'm getting a bit annoyed. So that doesn't help.
We can hear you perfectly.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, that's good, but I can't hear you guys normally, and it's all hacky. But
you have to fix that problem before tomorrow. Otherwise, the 5 hours stream we will be having will be like terrible for you.
see, I couldn't understand a single word you said. I just have to guess, and it's good because then I can imagine you were shitting on Genesis, so that's pretty cool. But,
Yeah, this is exactly what I say. Said bad things about that.
Okay, yeah.
I spoke shit about Affix Twin and Nurse with Wound.
well, shall I? Like I saw Fred was showing CDs. Maybe I take a stack here, and
Yeah,
we see what I
Take a
find.
stack.
Yeah, go ahead.
Join us in the madness.
Join us in the madness.
Oh, you've got CDs.
Oh, first time is showing CDs.
You know what?
Course.
You know what? It's really the parallel universe where we've got 3 French dudes speaking English
On the
on
vinyl
the vinyl
community,
community showing
showing
CDs.
CDs. Welcome to the show, and we have 20 people. So
20 people is
yeah,
adult fantasies. Oh yeah, okay.
Pretty nice artwork. This is an early Sub Rosa, the Belgium label record, and it was released on vinyl. I just never seen it. It's from 88, 89, something like that, and it's sort of like neoclassical, very delicate. It's coming obviously from like a post-industrial place, but doesn't sound that much like that. It's the kind of record I never think too much about it, and whenever I sit and think, do I need it, and I listen to it, it's actually nice, so I keep it. Oh, this is pretty cool. Victor Gamma. This was released on Reflex, Aphex Twins label. It's African music, modern African music, and that's the only album they released of him, and that was released of him. It's very percussive, obviously, but also very melodic. David Troop.
David Troop, yeah. The ambient god.
Well, not God, but the guy who wrote this, indeed.
Yeah, I've got that book too, Ocean of Senna, and I read it a long time ago. I found it at times just a little bit too academic. I thought,
I don't find it academic at all. I find it, really? I find it like a little bit poser. Because
that's what I meant by academic. I thought he was trying to be very intellectual in it. Like that's what.
No, but it's like it doesn't really have much substance. It's just him writing anecdotes about his meeting of this figure and this figure and this figure, and it's like, so you basically get a good list of people to look up, but not much substance, I think.
Yeah. I didn't really like it either. If I may say, It didn't really do anything for me. I've read it and then I thought, no, it's not really. We need to explain to Romuald what this is. It's a book about ambient music, and
Yeah.
I mean, it's good to read it for sure, and it will give you lots of directions.
yeah,
And what's pretty cool about it is that it maybe when he made it in '96, it was more important than it is now. I mean, I bought it in '90, like this is from '96, so I think it was from '94 originally, maybe. And oh, look, me with short hair.
Oh putain.
I would have never recognized you. Show us again. There was not. It was not long.
Oh bordel.
Fucking hell!
Yeah.
There was no way I would recognize you. No way.
No.
But so basically, what he does here is he connects like fourth world ambient, like John Hassel, with techno. That's basically it.
But
there's a little that
which makes total sense, because
yeah.
ambient and techno are they're relatives. they're cousins. They're
Cousins, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And I think this was a sort of like companion record he did for that record, for that book.
Yeah.
But if you want to delve into ambient on CD, this is much better.
Oh, I love this compilation. I've got it too.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's one of the best ambient comps ever. It's got I think it's got Orang on it as well. It's got Orang, and Jim O'Rourke and
Seafield, Scorn, Thomas Connor, Soviet France. It's curated by Kevin Martin from God.
It's so good. That compilation is just
the bug, yeah. Of course, it's so difficult to read because it's like golden ink.
Yeah.
There's Cake and Neil with James Plotkin. Let's see if it's written in a more readable way somewhere here. Yeah, Jim O'Rourke, Ice. Oh yeah, Raoul Björkenheim, Soviet France, La Bradford, Techno Animal,
he's on there too. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Paul Schütze, Disco Inferno, Nimiju, which is KG Hino's ethno ambient project. AMM, Aphex Twin, Seafield, Orang, Experimental Audio Research, David Toop, Main, which is Robert Hampson from Loop, Final, which is Justin Broderick from Godflesh doing ambient, Lull, which is Scorn doing ambient, and Thomas Connor. Yeah, this was very this is kind of like the defining ambient compilation of the 90s.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, it's such a good compilation. I love it too. I'm trying to find my copy of it here, but it's so fucking dark I can't find it. Yeah. But anyway, it's really great.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Fata Guerrilla.
Muslim Goes, good, very cool.
Like oh shit! It's a triple CD with pretty dynamic visuals.
Right.
Dedicated to a Palestinian state free from Zionist abuse of human rights. And
if Bryn Jones had lived today, he would have had a field day. He would have fucking it was his life's work, really. Now it's Muslim Goes. I've got to say, is one of my recent delves and discoveries that I feel has brought me the most, kind of joy recently. And I think it's down to you, Stunty, because you're talking about it so often, But I always knew the name of the band, and I always saw those kind of albums. But it's like sometimes when you get a very big discography, you sometimes it's very difficult to get into a band because you don't know where to start.
Yeah.
It's very daunting. It's like it would be the same with Nurse with Wound or with Current 93 has got a huge discography as well. You get bands like that who just make like a ton of records, and you go, another one is Richard Young's huge discography, huge.
Yeah.
Massive.
Maddening. Yeah.
Yeah, like or Simon Joyner too has got a huge discography, I think, from memory. But Richard Young's just amazingly
He
big.
only started like in 93, 94.
Yeah.
And he's got like 120 albums, I think.
Yeah.
He's slowed down a little bit now, but
yeah, it's crazy.
This is see Atom's Family.
Yeah.
What kind of music is that, Romuald?
Psychedelic? No,
It's hip hop, obviously.
it is. Wow.
Of course, yeah. It's kind of it's a band that was quite interesting. It's their first album. It was running kind of parallel to Company Flow and what became after the whole Def Jux scene. But this is a little bit more psychedelic actually, and it's
Okay.
Vast. You see, Vast here is Vast Air, who was part of what's the big I forget, like the biggest band on Def Jux, the label of that was the continuation of Company Flow. I forget, but this is interesting. This is French, like indie Beatles, like with a guy who has the same voice as Conan Moccasin, but like 10 years before that. And this is absolutely insanely good. This is extremely sophisticated and delicate arrangements with a voice from heaven. And
when did it come out?
This came out in 93.
Okay.
They're from Brittany or something, or
Rosebud. As you see, Rosebud was like the prime French indie rock label of the 90s. And this is a really good album. Unfortunately they only have one 7-inch on vinyl. On vinyl they only have a 7-inch, and it's only live recordings. It's not that good, but there you go.
Nurse with Wound.
This is funny because you got Nurse with Wound, but with on the cover a picture of Peter Christopherson from Coil.
Yeah. Well, they come from the same tree, really. They've evolved from the same tree. I mean, on Steven Stapleton and Peter Christopherson, when they're like best friends or something, I don't know. I mean, I'm just guessing.
They're not really. They don't like socialize. They didn't socialize that much, but I mean, they were like Peter. Nurse with Wound did the cover of Love Secret Domain, so. But this is one of my favorite.
They don't call Nurse with Wound Stunty. They call Nurse with Wound.
No, don't be. He has improved. Pinup has improved. And look at this beauty now.
It's so funny.
We love Pinup, of course.
Yeah, we love him. Yeah, we love him. Pinup, where is he?
Jason Spaceman from the Spaceman 3 and Spiritualized with Matthew Shipp on Treader, which is the label of John Coxon from Spring Heel Jack, and they did tons of records and all had this design cardboard one color and golden animal, a different animal on each cover. This is so Matthew Shipp is probably the jazz pianist of the 90s alongside Brad Meldo. I would say they are the two guys who really made jazz exciting, like who newly appeared, I guess, at the turn, like at the second half of the 90s and the 2000s. And this is Jason Spaceman doing electronics and guitars, and Matthew Shipp doing well, doing
whatever Matthew Shipp is doing. Yeah,
I will do another 5-10 minutes, and then we'll be wrapping up since live goes on. Just for
this is interesting.
Oh.
This is a compilation. Basically, it's a live show which featured Scanner, David Chi, and Maine. And I was at that show. I remember it was in Paris, and the next day I was passing my exams for the baccalaureate, so I had to. I was a bit stressed, but yeah. Le Garage, Paris, June 23, 1996. And Scanner here, he back then, Robin Rimbaud, he used the scanner to pirate private conversations on telephones, and on this, he pirated a French conversation between an elderly woman and her daughter who is kind of annoyed by her mother, and it was strange because the guy doesn't speak French, so he couldn't really understand the emotional charge of that conversation. But it was like extremely good mixture of like kind of ambient electronics and field recordings, but also something a little bit, you're voyeuristic. Really, really good. I've been thinking of trying to find a way to release this on vinyl, but and the last two on that pile, Plastic Man Consumed.
Yeah.
That's when
great record.
That's when he became. This is the Japanese version because it comes with a bonus mini CD. Oh yeah,
wow.
here it is.
Yeah. Now mine is
of
the normal European, I think, copy.
So it's live versions of some of these tracks, and it's pretty fun and pretty cool.
Yeah, it's one of the.
So this is.
It's one of these kinds of top techno records from that period. It really is very good.
For me, this is one of the I did a video, I think, the 50 best records of the 90s, and this is part of it for me. This is he basically took the lessons from Biosphere and Thomas Cunner, early Thomas Cunner, to make his techno almost ambient. So all the rhythms are techno, but it feels like you're in a night train. So he's got like really something almost organic, but like from the machines, if you catch my drift.
Merci.
Is genius. And what?
No, sorry.
And lastly, this is interesting. This is an indie shoegaze band called V. I think this is their only one of the two releases they have. One is a 7-inch. One is this CD single, and it was released on Gift. A Gift, which was a very short-lived indie rock label that was financed by Warp. So what's interesting here is you get the third track, Blitzwei.
Is that from Switzerland?
No, reproduced by Ottaker. So basically, it's an Autechre remix of a shoegaze track, and this is the only place this was released. And unfortunately, it's glorious. I'm going to listen to this after. Actually, it's been a while.
I've got a little pile here that I've gathered whilst we're here, and
That was just random, by the way. Huh? I just took the first.
That's the pile that I've got a pile on my next to my CD player, but these two, which Stunty probably,
Yeah, I have this on vinyl. Yeah,
these two on Too Pure. This one I found in the thrift store years ago for like $1. Somebody in the middle of the countryside somewhere and I couldn't believe that they left something like this. But I love this. I think I like this more than this, but I don't know.
Me too.
Yeah. So Moonshake for Romu, they're sort of an indie psychedelic kind of like crack rock inspired. Well, the name Moonshake is from a canned song anyway, so you've everything you need to know is there. It's on the.
There's also a huge influence from The Fall in it, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Indie, psyche, kind of in the middle. And on that same trip where I found that Moonshake, I found this as well, which is a great little, under the radar. Do you know it, Stunty?
Yeah. It's kind of like a sweet indie band from early 90s.
It's Galaxy 500, basically.
Yeah.
It is. It's Galaxy 500. It's Damon and
Noemi.
It's Dean from
Brina.
Yeah, Dean Wareham from Galaxy 500. Yeah, and it sounds like a Galaxy 500 record. I played it just the other day, and since we're on the Too Pure, I know your
this record, this CD. You see, there it says recorded at Church Road Avalanche by Prum and Justin. Avalanche is Justin Broderick's studio. So Justin Broderick from Napalm Death and then Godflesh. They're both. Yeah. So it's basically Prum and Justin are both from Birmingham. It's the Birmingham scene, early 90s. This is the best record of the 90s, I think you just showed, of all genres. That EP, this is,
Yeah, okay. That's interesting.
It's a 4-track EP, but the last song is actually 2 different songs. So it's 5 songs. It's quite long, if I remember correctly. It's for me, it's the defining record of the 90s.
I was playing this just yesterday or the day before. Some good old hypnagogic pop music from LA. Go Ariel Pink. I don't know if you guys have fans. I like a couple of his albums, but I'm not a fan. But I just like this is quite good. I was playing this. This is cool. Called 200 Years, and it's basically the guy from 6 Organs of Admittance, Ben Chesney, and with a vocalist. So what's her name? What's the name of the chick? I can't remember.
I think you say the name Ben Chesney more than any other name this year.
Ben Chesney and Elisa Imbroglio, whatever her name is. Yeah, I love 6. Like I remember, it was more like an early 2000 kind of vibe for me. School of the Flower and those kinds of records. That is good. I was playing this as well, which is I quite like Atlas Sound, very sort of psychedelic pop on 4AD, very sort of Bradford Cox from Atlanta, Georgia. He's also in Deer Hunter, who I love too. I was playing this Gastro del Sol, Crook Crack, and what's the name? Or Fly. That's
the only one I have of them.
Really, really good. This box set, which is fucking amazing. the Lazarus Taxon Tortoise. Everything you need to know about Tortoise, basically, all their B-sides, all their.
Are the
all
two
their-
bands connected, Gastro del Sol and Tortoise, or nothing? Nothing.
A little
not-
bit, a little
not
bit.
Yeah.
Well, they were both on Field Jockey at the same time.
Well,
They had
were they on Field Jockey or Drax? Oh, Drax City.
Gastro and Tortoise.
They're Drag
Gastro-
City.
oh yeah.
They're Drag City. These
Yeah,
guys.
that's but in the but the, yeah. So Chicago,
Chicago,
and
yeah.
yeah.
But
I mean,
this,
back then, like 95, 96, Gastro del Sol and Tortoise were the two bands that were going hand in hand in a way. Like the post rock was Tortoise, Gastro del Sol, and Labradford. That was really what it was all about. And Labradford were a little bit on their own thing, whereas Gastro del Sol, I mean, because of the guitar playing, which is kind of yeah, and Jim O'Rourke did some stuff for Tortoise as well.
but you talk about the song and Labradford and all, but you could also connect like bands like Codeine and Bedhead, and there's lots of other kind of bands that sort of Karate, who did kind of Slint.
It's like it is.
Slint
Yeah, but-
was definitely a post-rock band as well, in a different kind of style.
Slint
like
became Tortoise, and Tortoise is different than Slint. I think
Yeah.
that like the three bands you named were like Codeine was like a post-hardcore band, Bedhead as well. I think there were still like rock bands that were going in that direction, but Labradford,
But
Gastro del
Labradford is more like an ambient band when you listen to them. It's like, like I know they're seen as post rock, but a lot of, because they don't have drums in there, it sort of gives you
Yes,
this.
they
Sort
do.
of,
They have percussions.
well, yeah, but like on some of their albums, it's very slight. You can hardly,
Yeah, but on some of their albums, sure. But like when we're talking about that time period, like the first two of Labradford albums,
yeah.
which are back then, because like Tortoise, if you talk about Tortoise from the 2000, then it's a prog band, a jazz fusion prog band. So
Yeah. But anyway, this is a wonderful box set. 4 CDs of just everything you need to know about Tortoise, and you were afraid to ask. I was playing this. This is a lovely kind of like under the radar 4AD.
Lisa Germano,
Gig the Girl. It's a slowcore record. It's gorgeous record. Then you've got we've got a visitor behind. Then you've got I was playing the new broadcast, Spell Blanket, the newish ad takes things that they've just released.
yes, record album, yeah.
Was that Sunken Moon, Admiral Fell Promises. Good record. I just love
with obviously like the art. Like, can you show the cover again? Because this looks like Paris plus.
Yeah, it looks like
And there's a song that reflects my time at the moment, Australian winter.
It's not the Australs, okay.
I remember on one of your streams you were talking about this guy here, and this is the only thing I've got by him. It's Shane Parrish. You like this guy, yeah?
Yeah, he just released a new album.
Yeah, I remember on a stream you talked about him, and it made me pull this out because that's the only thing I have by him.
He's basically part of the what's his name again? The guitar player. He's like many people consider that guy the best guitar album of the past 20 years, and then he did a version of that with a trio, and Shane is part of that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of what the name is as well. And then these Jack Rose records, American Primitive records, Rag Manifestos, and Luck in the Valley. That's on Thrill Jockey. This one here. This one
Jack
is not
Rose plays the violin on these, right?
on what? On this?
Yeah.
No, I think it's
No?
just on. Hang on, let me have
On
a
the
look.
guitar?
Guitar and lap steel.
Okay.
Yeah, guitar and lap steel, and this one is also. Yeah, it's just like this one is just really him on guitar. There's nothing much else happening there on this one here. But Jack Rose, for those who don't know, obviously watching, is one of the. I mean, he's a true disciple of John Fay. He really was just really obviously fascinated with the art of the steel string guitar and what is known as American primitivism, for a better lack of a better term, but primitive music from blues, bluegrass, Appalachian folk, and Indian raga mixed together into a package. That's the pile I had there. Sorry.
Guys, I have to go. I'm inviting you to show the last one and or the last.
I'm showing quickly just the next pile. So debris from that record I was showing before. This is Amucho Mata, Simon Spang Hansen record. Nice rice. Just for the car.
Yeah. Wow.
The 4 albums.
Yeah. Axelrod.
David Axelrod compilation. Matthew Sheep, my favorite album of his. That's pretty wild. Modern free jazz on the French Rogue Art label.
You can tell by just looking at the lineup. Yeah. Brad Melder. Yeah.
I was talking about it. Anti-Pop Consortium, the album that was only released in Japan, called what's it called again? Shopping Carts Crashing. That came out at the same time as their first album. That was the yellow cover. This is New York hip hop, like that completely changed the game in the late 90s. And Nurse Whose Wound field recordings of the Lofoten. Yeah, I got a bunch of Nurse Whose Wound records.
I'm inviting you to continue the conversation tomorrow, maybe in French on the Disque du Pif.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to go, Romy, that's great. You have 2 hours to live. Thank you.
Thanks.
I thought I'd jump on because you were just a little bit alone there for a while. So I just get in and say hi. But that turned out to be quite good, actually. We just talked about lots of music, lots of cool music.
A lot of great people in the chat. Thanks for stopping by, and see you next time. Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.